Mr. Coleman, thank you for having us here.
Nice to have you here.
Much obliged for your time. We are both much obliged, Boots and me.
Boots.
I see you are a dog person.
I am a dog person. I love dogs.
So, I will be asking you 20 questions. It's been 20 years now since you first took charge of Fulham as a permanent manager. First question. What is it with you in Greece? You have come here twice.
Yes, I like Greece. I first arrived in 2011 with Larissa and really enjoyed my experience there. The whole town, the city was fantastic. So I got a taste then for Greece and the life. And of course now with the Trombados, we've been here 18 months. And again, Athens has been an absolutely incredible city. And the people of Trombados and Peristeri have really welcomed us into the whole ethos of the football club, of the area. And we've had an absolutely fantastic time, we love it.
So I understand that Trombados completely met your expectations?
Yes, 100%. We understood early that, you know, it's a very serious club, it's a very well-run club, very professional. So we were in a difficult situation when we arrived. The team was at the bottom of the league, so we need to work very hard to improve everything. But we've done this in the last 18 months with everybody's help. Everybody has a big input into the situation, and it's been difficult, but it's been very enjoyable. And now the club is in a good way. We think it's in a good level where if we can now possibly going forward, ideally we would like to try and challenge for a position for the top 6.
I will be asking you later on your future with the Trombados, but in personal terms, I would like to know if you have made any friends here in Greece.
Yeah, lots of friends, lots of friends. Some Greek people are very friendly, they're very passionate about their country.
Are there any similarities with Wales?
With Wales, very similar, very, very similar. I was just going to say that, you know, the Welsh people, myself, I'm very passionate about Wales, very proud, and the Greek people are the same. And they like to show you, you know, the different food, the different cuisine. The history in Greece is incredible. Some of the histories are unbelievable. So there's been like...
Have you had the chance to visit any sites?
Yes, of course, Acropolis was, we went there first, that was amazing.
That's the standard?
Yes, that's the standard one. And then with my wife and my children, we stayed in Sunio, into the Temple of Poseidon, and that was incredible also. So we've had a fantastic time, we really have.
What does your family think about Greece?
They love Greece. My youngest daughter's 6 and she loves Greece. So she knows I'm going home in a day or so, but she prefers to come here. So they've had a super time. They love Greece.
Would you call it here, would you call Greece home as well?
Easy for me to call Greece home. I think it's, of course, that Athens is an amazing city with a history, but it's the people. I think it's the Greek people. Wherever you go in the world, the place may be nice, but it depends on the people. If you connect with the people, and for sure we've connected really well here with the people of Peristeri, the people of Athens, the Greek people. There's been a very, very good connection for us.
How do you like to spend your spare time? Are there any hobbies, or is it football, football, football?
It's family, football, golf.
Golf?
But there's no golf here. Or very little.
I know a golf course here in Athens.
Gilfather, yeah? Yes, but we don't have the time, so it's been family and football. But this is okay. This is okay.
Let's take a trip down memory lane. Not many people know, I didn't know, I have to admit, the reason you had to retire as a football player. You were at Fulham, You were the captain of the team under Xanamadou Tigana and under the administration of Mohamed Al Fayed. And then came January 2nd, 2001. What happened?
Yes, I had a serious car accident, which resulted in, ultimately, it ended my career. So I had the accident on January the 1st, and I think 18 months, no, it was 12 months rehabilitation. And I came back, I played for a little bit, but I couldn't find the level I was at before, so I had to retire. But yeah, I did a lot of damage to my right leg. I was 32 when
It seems to have healed perfectly.
Yeah, well, I don't know. I think it's okay, it's all right, and I'm lucky because I can live a normal life, and you know, some people don't get to do that after they've had a serious car accident. But yeah, I can walk, I can have a normal life.
Do you play any football?
We played yesterday, the staff, we played against the academy. So
how did that go?
We win, but it was a good game. But this is the problem when you get to my age, it's the day after.
You're not so old.
Is when your body starts to, so I think it was a bad
rehabilitation.
Idea. It was a bad idea, yeah.
Following your retirement, you joined Xantigana's staff.
Yes.
And I think it was, let me check my notes, in May 2003 that you took charge of Fulham, were the youngest Premier League manager.
Yeah.
How did it feel to assume that kind of responsibility in a club like Fulham?
To be honest, when I was young, that age, 32, 33.
32, 33 years old.
Yeah, I was, my ego told me I could do the job. When I look back, I had no experience. Luckily for me, the president of Fulham, the chairman, Mohamed Al Fayed, he liked to do things differently. So he gave me a chance to lead the club. And yeah, I had a fantastic, I think 4 or 5 seasons there as a coach. He was fantastic. But yeah, I was very, very young. And sometimes you need to be in the right place at the right time. And for me, that's certainly the situation with my first job with Fulham.
And then came Wales. How did it feel to lead your country's national team, the major tournament, after 58 years, if I'm correct, Euro 2016?
Yeah, it was an amazing feeling. My proudest moment, I would say. Even as a player, when I played for Wales, there was my proudest moments to represent your country. There can be no higher accolade than that. So then to get the opportunity to coach my country, yeah, and to have the success we did was pretty amazing feeling, yeah.
Puts a light on your face.
I can't stop smiling.
During your spell in Sunderland, Netflix was filming a documentary which was meant to be a documentary about the team's promotion. And you ended up relegated. Apart from the TV part, how did it feel to have the cameras, the microphones being monitored 24/7?
Yeah, it felt strange because I think a football club, certainly a dressing room, the changing room for the players is a sanctuary, it's a special place. There shouldn't be anybody in there. But this was all...
Would you say that it probably affected your performance as a team?
Do you know what, I wish I could make that excuse. I mean, I arrived in November or December, so halfway through the season. And the reason for us being relegated wasn't because there was a documentary. I wouldn't say that. I didn't like it because it's not something I like. I like to be private with the team. I like to be private with the players and what's happening in the training.
But you seem to embrace it. You were the star.
I think we had to because
you flourished.
Yeah,
on the documentary.
Well, I've never watched it because, you know, for me is a real difficult time. When I joined Sunderland, it's a great football club, amazing supporters. I was, you know, very, very excited to join Sunderland. So when we when we were relegated, it was probably the biggest disappointment of my career. It was tough. But going back to the documentary, this was all new for us. We didn't really understand it, but they didn't. It wasn't their fault. We were relegated. We just weren't good enough. As a team, we weren't good enough. But I remember it. I remember the documentary. I remember it all felt a little bit strange.
Let me bring you back to Greece. During this very last season, your team became part of something rather unusual. The short or lower crossbars affair. What were your thoughts while it was happening, and what are your thoughts today on the matter?
So, my honest opinion, I thought it was ridiculous, the whole situation. I've never seen anything like that. And it was a shame because Ajax are a great team. They're the champions. They deserve to be champions. They're the best team. But on that night, that whole situation was wrong. So I didn't like it. And yeah, it's a shame it happened. But okay, this is Greece, and sometimes things happen that are different to everyone else. And for sure, that was a situation where I've never seen before.
You already said that Ajax was the best team, but I have to ask you. Just yesterday, Panathinaikos president, during a radio interview, said that he believes that the title was stolen from his team. What do you think on that?
I don't know. I can't speak for Panathinaikos or Ajax. I can only speak for the Atromitos. As an outsider looking at both teams, I say that. So there's 33 games. There's more games, right?
36
for the guys in the top six, yeah.
For the
33 for us, yeah. Just like us, we had enough games to try to finish in the top six, but we missed our target. So we don't have nothing we can say we missed the target. And so for Panathinaikos and Ajax, Olympiacos, PAOK, these teams who are going for the championship, it's a lot of games, there's a lot of points. So you have opportunities, but the only opportunities if you take them. And Ajax took more opportunities. So I think as an outsider looking at the league, Ajax deserve to win the league because over 36 games, they collect the most points, and that's that.
Which would you say is the biggest problem, the most serious defect of Greek football, of the Greek league, to be precise?
I've been around the world and there's good and bad everywhere. I think in Greece there's always a conspiracy theory about this or that, and some people ask me questions. Sometimes if I'm in Athens and I'll speak to a supporter from Panathinaikos or Olympiacos or whoever, and they say, "Coach, what do you think about and just I'm like that. I don't know anything about that.
I'm a football manager.
Yeah, I don't. I've not heard those rumours, but it's quite. I quite like it actually because there's always something happening in the Greek Super League. Always something happening. It's very interesting.
Here in Greece, we like to draw the curtain.
Yes.
And see what's behind it.
Yes, you do. Yeah, and you like to say certain things, insinuating, not exactly telling you, but maybe this is the situation when actually it's not. But this is, it's the Greek way of. But there's a lot of good things in Greek football.
In the Greek league's environment, what can be the future, or what should be the future of teams like your team, like Atromitos? Which is the prospect?
I think teams like Atromitos, like us, we're always looking to. Last year we made a big. We had a big fright, a big scare because we were at the bottom of the league, and at the start of the season, the expectations that they would be fighting for the top six. So, and this can happen in football. You can plan, you can work hard, and for whatever reason things don't work out, and you find yourself in a situation where nobody thought was possible. So, for us, whilst I've been here, this season we worked hard to make sure first we're in a safe position, and we're not near the two or
Relegation
three at the
zone.
bottom. Yeah, we stay away from that. And then when we're in a good position, we can start looking up to see if we can reach this way. And now this is where this club is here now. We can start saying, can we reach above us? But I think there's other Asteras Tripoli, Offi, and teams like that. They all have the same ideas as what we have.
Here in Greece, we are sort of accustomed to the way the administration, football association, the team's administration talk about football and insinuating many times, as you said, some things. The term we use is toxicity.
Toxicity, yeah.
Any suggestions? How could we put an end to this?
I don't think you can. I don't think it's something so we're discussing football, but it's in society. You know, people say to me now, you know, football players, this generation of football players is much different to the generation before or my generation. And I say, you're wrong. It's not just football players. Society is different. Everything is different from 15 years, 20 years ago. It's not just football. Why would football stay the same? Everything's changing and evolving. Some good, some not so good. But I think there's a lot of things in Greek football that's undervalued, and it should be valued. It should be respected. We have, especially at the Atromitos, we have a lot of Greek players here that represents the club. They play with a lot of passion. They work hard every day. They're very professional. But sometimes I get the sense that the idea of a lot of Greek football players is they're not professional. And I've worked with Larissa, with a lot of Greek players, and my opinion of the Greek players is very positive, is very good. There's a lot of good things in Greek football, and you can look at any league in the world, even the Premier League, which is now considered the best league in the world. That has its problems, that has its controversies. It's always going to happen. And I think that's really what makes football also, because it gets people talking, gets people
part of
interested.
our lives.
I think it's a part of our lives, yeah, I think that's true.
How did you find particularly this season of Greek Super League, for many Greek football lovers, the most exciting of all time?
Fantastic. Really, really good level of football. So Ajax won the league. I got very, very good team. Very good team. Was how Panathinaikos and Olympiacos. Olympiacos have had a real tough season because normally, you know, they're much stronger. They're always in the first position. It's been more difficult. It's like a transitional period for Olympiacos. But for Ajax and Panathinaikos, these two teams have been most consistent all season. And it's been a very, very good at the top and the bottom, because the bottom right to the last game with Ionikos and Lamia. So the interest in the league has been fantastic. It's been a great, great Super League.
Will we be seeing you next season here in Atromitos?
I hope so. I hope so.
Have you discussed it with Mr. Skolnos?
Yes. The president, I respect him very much. Very serious guy, very professional. And I fly home tomorrow to see my family, but with our technical director, Yanis Agalopoulos, who's been a great help for me, and for Kit, my assistant. George Kourakakis, who was another assistant. And without George, and because of his intelligence and his knowledge of Greek football, is fantastic. And we've got a really good combination of people, plus the rest of the staff. And I call it the Maseraki Mafia. But they're fantastic, you know. They really love the club. They want what's best.
Why Mafia?
Because they're like this, and you can't get inside, and they stay with each other. Mafia in a good way. Yeah, in a good way, not a bad thing. So I hope so. I think, like I said earlier, if we can add to what we've got, a little bit more quality, then we can start thinking, can we get to the top 6? We missed. This year we didn't arrive in the top 6 for one reason: we weren't good enough. That's that. Okay, no problem. We still made a good season. So can we improve next season? Yes, we can. So this will, I hope that I'm here to improve, do my best again, and try to maybe finish 1 or 2 places higher in the league.
So let's wrap it up with a message of yours for Atromitos fans, or maybe for all Greek football fans.
Yeah. Again, it's not just football. I think we think as people, the grass, I don't know the translation, but we say the grass isn't always greener on the other side, meaning we always think it's better somewhere else when it's going to be better. It's always like that. Sometimes you have to recognize what you got is good and respect that, and be grateful for that. And I'm certainly grateful for my time in Greece. Certainly grateful to the president for giving me an opportunity to come to manage the Atromitos. I thank all the Atromitos fans and the people at Peristeri for first making us feel welcome, and giving us an opportunity to try to be successful with the club.
Thank you very much for your time and this lovely chat.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Very good.